Hi, this is Mark Littleton, the minister of the Word for the Athens Church of Christ, with today's 3-minute sermon. This week, we're thinking about busyness. Specifically, we're thinking about some warning signs that might indicate our lives are too busy. I said yesterday, and really I've been saying all week, what we're trying to find in our lives is balance. We want to be busy. We want to be productive people. God's put us on this earth to be productive people. And yet at the same time, we don't want to overextend ourselves and jam-pack our schedules so full of things that we become too busy. Really, here's a good definition of busyness that I'm using as I think about it this week and that I think will be helpful to you too. Busyness is when I extend my attention, my time, and my energy beyond my capacity. I said yesterday, every one of us has a capacity. Yours is different than mine, and yet we all have one. And when we try to push our attention and push our energy and push all of that beyond what we're capable of doing, that's when we get into trouble. That's when our lives become too busy. And we're thinking about some warning signs that might help us to see that coming before we get there, or to see that coming and to realize, hey, it's already a part of my life and I need to make some changes. I want to give you 2 more warning signs this morning that might indicate your schedule is too crowded and you are too busy. The first one I want to give you today is this. If you are constantly forgetting things, that might mean you're too busy. Now, it might just mean that you're getting older. Ask me how I know that, right? It seems like the older we get, the more we struggle with remembering things. And that's not really what I'm talking about here. I mean, if you just constantly, as a pattern of your life, you forget about appointments that you have, or you forget about important dates on your calendar and events on your calendar, that may be a sign you're just too jam-packed with too many things. Your schedule is too busy. You've pushed yourself beyond your capacity. Maybe an even deeper way to think about that point is this. If you're constantly only thinking about things concerning your own life and you're forgetting about those things that concern other people's lives, you may be too busy. Maybe you forget that your mother's having surgery. Maybe you forget that a friend of yours is having surgery. If it doesn't involve you and your life, you forget about it. That's a sign you very well may be too busy. And then another sign that I want to give you today, a warning signal, a warning sign that you might be too busy, is this one. When you become exhausted very easily, that could be a warning sign to you that you're just too busy. Now, I'm not talking about being tired. All of us are tired, and that's not a bad thing. When you come home at the end of the day and you're tired from a good day's work, that's a good thing. I'm talking about just being utterly exhausted, completely deflated. And not at the end of the day after a hard day's work, but at the beginning of the day, before the day ever even starts, you're just completely deflated and exhausted. That could be a warning sign to you, friend, that your capacity is being exceeded and that you are too busy. So again, as we've been doing all week, here's my challenge to you. Have the courage to sit down with either your calendar, or if that has been totally changed by the virus, to sit down just to look at your pace of life. Even if the events on your calendar have been canceled, what kind of pace are you living in your life? Sit down and look at your schedule, think about these warning signs, and have the courage to say, you know what? I may be exceeding my capacity. I may be too busy. Lord willing, Monday, we'll see you again, and we'll look at a couple of more warning signs that our lives are just too hectic. Hope to see you then for another 3-minute sermon. God bless.